Dejounte, player introduction, they saved you for last. What was that moment like, the crowd kind
I mean, send me for last. Call me first. It don't matter. I'm an NBA. You know, a kid from Seattle, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is a blessing. Man, there's a lot of emotions I held inside. You know what I'm saying? Had my family here, so I'm grateful for sure.
How good is it when you come out there and just able to see your first shot going?
I mean, it was great. The win matters, though, man. Like, I'm hungry. You know, I want the fans to know I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? I ain't suiting up for about me. Like, I'm suiting up for, you know, this organization, my brothers, and the fans. Like, you know, we want to go build momentum going into the off season and next year. So the win that matters. The buckets is gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I was active. I felt good, just lateral movements, running up and down. You know, my condition was good. So that's just a credit to, you know, my hard work and dedication.
Was tonight everything you thought it would be? Was this kind of what you expected?
The win. Absolutely, we won. That's one. You know, it's 2 in a row, but, you know, as far as me and the lineup, that's one. And, you know, I made a thing with my family that, you know, I want to come and every game's a championship game for me. You know, and I want to still that into my brothers and, you know, go out and execute.
Any thoughts on how they managed your minutes so that you could be out there for closing time?
Well, they did great. You know, that's up to the doctors. Great on the staff. They came together with, you know, our medical staff and. You know, the communication part's everything. We've been communicating since this morning all the way to, you know, the game. So, like I said, the win that matters. Grateful that we got the win and, you know, ready to build from it.
You always talked about taking pride in making those plays in late game situations.
Mm-hmm.
What was key for y'all tonight executing it and closing it out?
I think we probably like C plus. Could have been, you know, more solid. Like I had a little turnover there. I felt like I fouled, but no excuses. We got to be solid. You know, a team's trying to come from behind. You know, we got to be in our spots and be there for one another. So, you know, I think that's my job. But also, you know, it's a collective unit. But, you know, me being a point guard, and like I said, I'm here to, you know, better everybody else, and, you know, I'm here to win. So, you know, we got to be more better. But I think overall, getting a win, you can go build from things and, you know, correct those errors.
Well, you was going back to before the game and putting your jersey on, all that. Like, what were all those emotions like at that point?
Man, it was great. Like I said, you know, just a kid from Seattle, man, in the NBA, and just what I've been through, man. Like I've been through a lot, you know, but I don't hold no excuses. I keep my chest out, chin up, you know, smiling, and I'm just ready to see where it go from here. You know, I know God got some great things in store for me on and off the floor.
What'd you listen to on the way to the arena?
Man, anything I could relate to. You know what I'm saying?
What did you think of the team defense? They had 20-plus turnovers.
We didn't rebound. We was awful. Like, we should have practice tomorrow all rebounding. Literally, like, Herb Jones didn't rebound. You know what I'm saying? When he rebound, we all rebound. Nah, but I think, you know, we could be better. I think tonight I give us a C+. That's beautiful to have a C+ and win a basketball game in the NBA, you know, versus a good team. I don't care who's in, who's out. Steve Kerr coaches his team, you know, really well. They got a system, and they put the right players, you know, in position to be successful.
There would have been a lot of reasons for guys to get frustrated in a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of what you're gratified by? Is that it took a lot of fortitude to push through?
Yeah, we needed it though. We had some battles in practice, you know, going against Blue Silver. And, you know, just to have a game like that where we came out hot, came out looked really, really well, you know, to start the game, but then we had some adversity to get through. And, you know, shout out to that third quarter, our, you know, young group. You know, they came in and they won that quarter and they played really well to put us in position to win tonight. So, you know, at the end of the day, just we got to be together and do it together.
And you talking about the communication y'all have throughout the game. How much do you feel like that's part of your job as the point guard to kind of be in his ear and make sure you're seeing the things that he's seeing?
A lot, because like I said, I want to make everybody's jobs easier, and that's going to rub off on them. But there's guys that already feel that way. You know, you got a guy like Herb Jones that don't ask the coach to draw a player for him. He's always active on offense. What he sees, defense, he's active. Everybody know him for that. But, you know, just I think the more we're together off the floor, having fun and learning each other, translate, and it could be really special, you know what I'm saying? Because we do like each other. There's no egos, there's nobody pouting. You had young guys starting, and they went to the bench and they took it, you know, like they should have took it. And I give a lot of credit to them for that. So that speaks volumes of maturity and what they're in for. And we're all here to win, and longevity, you know, is the key for everybody.
Dejounte, do you feel like you guys staying in contact before you came back here to New Orleans really helped you kind of get a jump start on what you're talking about right now?
Absolutely. You know, for me, it was just to take care of my mental, but mainly my body, you know, to be in position to play. And you know, shout out to my team, you know, that I had, you know, helped John Myers in L.A. And, you know, the Pelicans was well, you know, connected and coming in. They probably came 7 times to check on me and make sure everything was going well. And at the end of the day, me and Joe Dumars talk a lot, and the plan that, you know, we built, we executed to perfection. You know, that's why Dejounte was able to play today.
Your head coach described it as a massive celebration after the game. Can you describe what it was like, I guess, in here? You know?
I mean, it was great. That's over. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, it was great, but I'm ready for the next game, and that's the, you know, prepare for Utah. You know, it was great. I hope the guys enjoy it. But me, I'm not enjoying it. I'm on to the next game. Like I said, I'm hungry. I'm starving, and you know, just ready for the next game.